Hi! Welcome to this short Pilates workout where we're going to focus mostly on our hips and core. So come and join me in standing, either on or off your mat. If you find it better to step off onto a hard floor for your balance, then feel free to do that if you need to. And if you feel like you need to be closer to a wall, a table, or a chair, by all means, do move yourself. The only other thing you will need for this session is some form of a block, maybe similar to what I'm going to use, but if you have a slightly smaller, thinner block, that's also fine. And if you don't have a block available, then alternatively, if you can, find yourself a thick book that you can use in the same way as a block, or even just a folded towel or a pillow. So once you've found your block or alternative, pop it to one side and come and join me. On or off your mat, as mentioned, positioning the feet around hip width apart. We don't want to be too wide, but we also don't want to be too narrow. Toes pointing forward in this nice parallel position. Feel that your tailbone is pointing straight down towards the floor as you then lengthen up through your spine. Let's just take a few moments to settle into this position. Feel that you're spreading through your feet, through your toes, feeling balanced over your feet and your hips, stacked through the spine, lengthened out through the top of your head. Let your shoulders just roll back and down, finding wide breaths into your rib cage. And maybe pick a spot to focus on in front of you. And the next time that you breathe out, can you try lifting your heels, rising up onto the balls of your feet, spreading through your toes. Breathe in as you lower. Breathe out as you lift. Hand onto a wall or table if you need. And if you notice that there is some rolling out, maybe think of pressing down through your big toes a little more. Finding that sense of lift, drawing up through center. Lifting as you exhale. And we might already be feeling the legs getting a little warmer as we go. One more of these lifts. And lower. We're now going to bend the knees and straighten back up. Keeping your feet flat. You could be a little wider if you feel you need, but do stay parallel. Tailbone is still pointing down. Keeping the chest up. So can you watch out for wanting to tip yourself forward? Breathing in as you bend the knees. Breathing out as you press back up through the legs. Maybe a quick check that your knees are pointing forward. They're not falling in. Working here the lower part of the legs. So don't worry if you can't get very far. It will only be a small range. Let's do that one more time. Straighten back up. We're just going to change our foot position into a V shape. So could you have your heels maybe just touching with your toes pointing out? If you need to be a little wider, you could do, or come back to that parallel position if really needed. So you might feel that connection of your legs, like we're drawing those thighs together, and we're trying our lift again, rising up, lowering down. Feel that sense of drawing up through center and lower. Keep that focus straight ahead. Hand on a table or a chair if we need. Really feel that sense of kind of rolling the thighs out. So we've got this little bit of rotation in the hips. And one more lift again. Lower those heels, and let's try our knee bend again in this position, keeping those feet flat, and push back up to straighten. Breathe in, we bend the knees, we're now pushing them out. Breathe out as you feel like you're drawing up again, inner thighs together, connecting up through center. Can you keep your heels down? And your tailbone pointing down again, chest up, we're not hinging forward. Last couple. Final time, and push back up. Let's return the feet into a parallel position, but now just a little wider, comfortable position for squats. And I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see a better view, better angle of my positioning. We're going to imagine sitting back into a chair. So we start to lower, reach out through the arms, and then push yourself back up. So imagine that you're sitting back into a chair, and then push through the legs to stand. Breathing into your squat, breathing out as you stand. Our feet are staying flat again, and our knees are pointing forward. If you notice they're drifting in, think about trying to push out slightly as you lower. Getting those hips back and down. Watch out for tipping your body too far forward. We want to be really loading and working the legs. Like you are pushing the ground away each time you stand. I'm going to come back to face you. Next time, hold that squat position. If you feel that you can, you could also do this standing if you need. Maybe hands to hips in this position. Can you keep your chest up? And we step one foot out and back in. Other side, we step out and step in. Keep going. You're stepping into the foot, stepping it back in, stepping out, stepping in. If you want to work a little more into those glutes, could you come down a little lower? The lower you go, the more work for glutes. Keep yourself moving. Chest up. And maybe once more each side if you can. Step in and push all the way back up. Good work. We're going to take our feet wider. Toes turned out again, almost like that V position, but now wide. And the wider you go, likely the more range you will find in your hips. So we don't want to be too narrow here. So toes are pointing out. We're going to lower ourselves down again into a squat, this time reaching those arms out nice and wide and push back up through the legs. So let's think about sending those knees out as much as you can, pushing back up. Your tail stays pointing down. So we want to avoid tipping ourselves forward and sticking bums out. Can you keep a little tuck? Inhale down. Exhale, pushing up. Feel that sense again of trying to bring your thighs together, drawing everything up with you as you push the floor away. As low as you can. And a little bit of a challenge. Could you come down, hold that position and pulse it down? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push up, squeezing up through the legs, and then step in, shake off. Good work. Let's come to one end of our mat, feet back under the hips. And I will suggest that a block could be useful here. A block maybe just in front of you, either flat like this or up on an end. You could even have 2 blocks, one under each hand for this next movement. We're standing tall. Take a moment to find your breath. And next exhale, let's nod the head, chin to chest, shoulders rounding forward, and continue to roll down through the spine. Maybe a slight bend in the knees if it's tight in the legs, or if you feel like the knees want to push back, do let them bend. And can you really hang here over your feet? Now, if you're able to, we're going to bring fingertips or hands straight down onto the mat. But this is where a block could be useful. If you can't quite reach the floor, then have a block underneath your hands instead, as I mentioned. We're going to think of bending through our left knee and opening up the right arm, reaching towards the ceiling, looking to that top hand, and you might feel a stretch down this right leg. We then lower the arm back down, straighten, and now can you bend on the right and open up the left arm, looking to that top hand, and lower it down. Let's inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it down. So you bend right knee, open left arm. And if you feel like you can lose the block, you could maybe have hands on the floor. Just twice more each side. So we're getting this nice length and stretch on the back of the leg into those hamstrings, but also finding a lovely rotation. When you're ready, last one, bring the hand down. Move a block away if you were using it. And now walk your hands away. Bring your knees down onto the mat, where we're going to find a table position, but we're going to use our block again. I'm going to start with it underneath my left knee. You could do the same if you like. And if you don't have a block, remember I said you could use a book in a similar way, or if you want to go a little lower, then maybe just a folded towel or a pillow, or even just stay on the mat. So we want hands under shoulders, knees under hips as you would do normally here. We just have this left knee a little higher, and you might be able to feel that we are a wonky table. Left hip is higher than the right. Let's imagine that we are wrapping round with our deep core, our stabilizing muscles there, to help us lift the right side to come level with the left. Inhale, lower. Exhale, try lifting again. Feel that sense of really wrapping around with the abdominals, using that breath out, wrap round and lift. Maybe hips level, knees level. Don't worry if you can't achieve that every time. Lengthen out through the top of the head, tempting to look through. Try and keep the length of your spine. And if you feel as though you are shifting quite a lot, maybe onto this left side, could you press a little more through that right arm? Staying as square as you can. So 8 to 10, we're nearly there. And I'm going one more for luck as I have lost count. we lower. Take a second, you might want to shake out the wrists. And we try and do that on the other side. So we swap over, block under your right knee or whatever you're going to use. And one side could feel quite different, so let's compare. Again, we have hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Try and square yourself up, lengthen through the spine. Try not to sink in those arms, push the ground away. Let's think again of wrapping everything round. Exhale, lift the left side. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hitching up the hip. Level, not higher. And again, if we feel a lot of shifting over to this right side, can you press a little more through that left arm? Wrapping the abdominals round. And not worrying if you can't achieve this every time. It does take practice. Lots of focus. Connect with your breath, connect with your body. Feel what's happening in the position that you're aiming for. After your last one, let's lower it down, remove our block, give those wrists a shake again, and we are returning into that table. And now we feel nicely balanced and square. We're going to tuck our toes under, as long as that's comfortable for you. If you are unable to tuck your toes, if you have difficulty doing that, then alternatively grab yourself a block, a towel, a pillow, and maybe pop that underneath your toes so they are elevated instead rather than tucked under, and that might feel easier for you. So let's find that balance, lengthen through the spine, lift into shoulders, like you're kind of screwing the hands into the floor. This time as we exhale, we're lifting both knees. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, we lift. Feel that wrap around. Trying not to shift your weight back or forward. And we're keeping that long spine flat back. Pushing the ground away. 8 to 10. Feel that closing of the rib cage as you exhale. The pulling round with the abdominals. Maybe make it to 10 or 11 if you're like me and you've lost count. Lowering down, release your feet, and you can sit back to your heels. Reaching into our rest position here. You could open out the knees if you'd like, maybe reaching towards the top of the mat, or you could stack the arms under your forehead. Let's breathe here into the back, expanding the rib cage. And slowly sitting up, we're going to move onto our side. Onto your arm, elbow under shoulder, as long as this feels comfortable. You don't want to push that elbow out too far away, really tuck under so you can feel active lifting from underneath. We want to watch out for sinking into the side. Feel that kind of wrapping round and up of the rib cage. And if you find that uncomfortable, lie down onto your arm instead and feel like you are trying to lift through your waist. So you have an option there. Legs are together, a bend in the knees, the feet are tucked back in line with your pelvis. Or as I've done, I've lined myself up with the back edge of the mat. Once you are here, Let's think of opening this top knee towards the ceiling. Breathing in as you close, breathing out as you open. So we watch out for sinking as we open, and we watch out for rolling as we open. Focus on the hip. Just a gentle squeeze back together. So if you're finding it difficult on the arm or the shoulder, lie down if you need. 8 to 10. And then close the leg down. Staying in this position if you feel okay. We're going to lift the leg, not too high. We're still parallel with the bottom leg, and lower. Again, can you pick the leg up and place the leg down? Once again, we're not dropping as we lift. We're not rolling back. And we're trying to keep the knee and the foot on the same level, the same line. So there's no turning out there now. There's no rotation at the hip. Keep that lift underneath, lifting the rib cage. Next time, last one, hold that position. Keep the leg up, keep lifting from underneath, and breathe. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Let's find a quick stretch. Sitting yourself up. Legs in front, and the top leg that you were just working, we're now crossing over. Plant the foot next to you, wrap the opposite arm around that knee, and we twist to look over the shoulder, this side that we're stretching. Lengthen up as much as you can. You could have this back hand behind to just support you so you can lengthen up. Gently pulling that knee towards you, deep breaths into the stretch. And then we slowly release, uncross, and we swap ourselves over to the other side. So we've got those same options again. Onto your forearm, elbow under shoulder, or lie yourself down if you need to. Square the hips, think of lifting from underneath, wrap the rib cage up and away from the mat, and our feet are back in line with the pelvis. We open our top knee again towards the ceiling. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. And it could feel different to the other side. Maybe we have a little more range. Maybe it's a little tighter. Don't force it. Let's watch out for sinking in the side, and let's watch out for wanting to roll back. And a nice addition to this, maybe next time, is a loop band around your thighs. That's always an option. Add that little bit of resistance. Closing the last one. Just have a quick check of position. And now lifting that top leg and placing it straight down. It's still parallel with bottom leg. There's no rotation. We're not dropping in the side. We're not sinking in this shoulder. If it gets uncomfortable, lie down instead. Listen to your body and just find the option that works best for you. Now we're going to hold the last one again. Keep that leg up, lift from underneath and breathe. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Let's come up again, find our stretch. Sitting, legs out, that working leg crossing over. Wrap the opposite arm around to pull that knee towards you. We twist, look over the shoulder, lengthening up, breathing into the stretch as you gently draw that knee in. And then we can slowly let go. We're going to stay sitting, but at one end of your mat, make sure you have a clear space behind you. Feet and knees hip width apart, and we're lightly holding onto the backs of the legs. We're not gripping too much that we're tensing into shoulders. We're rolling them back and down, feeling a sense of lift out of your hips and out of the floor. Now on an exhale, can you feel that you're drawing your lower belly, your lower abs in and back? So we start to create this curve into our lower back, and now continue to roll back, like you're pulling your tailbone through between your legs. You're rolling your pelvis underneath you. You can use the arms to hold the legs and support you. Let's hold it here for a breath. Exhale, can you bring that curve forward, keeping the shape till you're over your hips, and then lengthen all the way back up, lifting out of the floor, shoulders back and down. We try that again. Exhale, we draw the lower abs in and back, starting to create our curve. Continue to then roll the pelvis underneath you, like you're going to roll your pelvis under and down towards your heels. Hold for a breath. Exhale, roll forward. Keep that shape. And then lift out of the hips, lengthen up through the spine. And let's go again. Exhale, scoop the tummy in. Tuck the tail under. Pull the pelvis underneath you. Rolling yourself back. Keep hold of the legs. And exhale, roll forward. Lengthening all the way up. Finding that roll. The C curve of the spine. Maybe seeing if you can go a little further, maybe noticing the lower back just imprinting, touching down onto the mat and bringing that shape forward. Lengthening all the way up, just twice more. Lower abs, drawing back and in. Rolling the pelvis underneath you, pulling that tailbone through the legs. Maybe coming back to the point where your lower back imprints the mat. Rolling forward. Lengthening all the way back up. Just one more time. Maybe you just practice this drawing back and the curve if you're finding it difficult to roll all the way back. Good. And now this time we are going to make our way back onto the mat. So we find that tuck under, our roll back. Let the lower back touch into the mat. Loosen the grip on the legs. See if you can control yourself back to lie down. Resting your head, your arms, walking your feet in a little closer so they are flat, hip width apart and parallel again. You could have a small pillow underneath your head if you really need something underneath, or stay as you are on the mat. Few breaths here into the ribs, just settling down against the mat. Feel the natural curve through your spine. And next exhale, let's tilt the pelvis so we feel the lower back touching into the mat, the tail just gently tucking, and we continue to lift, rolling our way up from the mat, lifting through the hips. Feel a sense of reaching your knees away. So we find this line from knees to hips to shoulders. Breathing in at the top and breathing out as we roll back down, bone by bone, returning onto the mat and back into our start position before rolling up again. On an exhale, tilting the pelvis back, slight tucking of the tail as we roll our way up. Checking your foot position. If you're really feeling a tightness, a pulling in the back of the legs, maybe walk the feet a little closer to your bum, not too far away. And we're trying to articulate through the spine. Moving on your exhale, pressing the arms down to give you extra support. Knees reaching, lengthening away. Keeping that slight tucking of the tail on the way down so we don't drop in a block. So we're trying to sequentially mobilize and articulate through the spine, moving through all those segments rather than just lifting or lowering in a block. And maybe you notice as you're rolling up the length that you create in your thighs, the opening in the front of your hips. But you might also feel the work in the back of the legs, in the glutes, especially if we've got this little tuck under with the tail. So the legs are really active here. And I'm going to give you an option. If you'd like to stay as you are on the floor, you can do. Or we're going to roll ourselves up again and hold that bridge position. So we're reaching the knees away, lifting through the hips, keep the tuck of the tail. Now, can you hold yourself up? Maybe hands underneath if you need a little bit of extra support, that's absolutely fine. Or if you find that you're just sinking, I would bring yourself down onto the mat instead. We hold ourselves up. You have another choice here. You could lift one heel, down, other heel, up, down. Walk through for 10. Or can you lift your leg up to this knee fold position? Inhale, place the foot down. Exhale, lift the other side for 10. Watch out for dropping the hips. Can you stay up? Can you stay level? Really think about pressing that supporting leg down as you then lift the other side. Arms down for extra support or hands underneath. Trying not to arch through the back, keep those ribs closed. Remember heel lifts if you need them, or this leg lift if you can. Once you've finished your set, we're going to roll back down through the spine, return to the mat, bring feet and knees together, open the arms a little wider with your palms turned up. You could squeeze into a pillow if that's helpful to keep your legs together. And we are rolling hips and knees to one side. Feet stay together, arms stay pinned down. And then we lift, roll back into the middle. Other side. We're going to breathe in as we roll, lifting one side of your pelvis. Exhale as you lift the weight of the legs and you pull that side of the pelvis back down to the mat. Inhale as we roll. Exhale to lift back up. Trying not to arch through the rib cage. Keep those shoulder blades fixed on the mat. And just one more roll to each side. And we're coming up to our last little series. Let's come back to the middle, knees pointing up. And just reset. Feet again hip width. And bringing the hands now back behind your head. So your thumbs are pointing down the back of your neck. Elbows are wide. They're not wrapped around, but they're also not flat to the floor. You can just about see them here in the corner of your eyes. Making sure the rib cage is closed and gently tucked down. So we avoid arching in this start position. Keeping the pelvis still. As you exhale, could you start to lift your upper back? Looking over the knees, maybe towards the top of the wall in front of you. Breathing in as you lower. And breathing out to lift. Keeping the length in your neck. We're just following the curve of the spine. So do watch out for wanting to kind of push the head right down. There's a little bit of space between your chin and your chest. We focus on trying to lift the upper back. And maybe a quick check that the pelvis is staying still. The feet are grounded. There's no swaying through the legs. And those elbows are staying wide. They're not wrapping around. Staying open across your chest. A very slight drawing down with those abdominals, like you're bringing your belly button down towards the mat as you lift. But a lot of this engagement is going to happen very naturally as we start to lift. So try not to bear down too much into the mat. Next time you lift, can you hold yourself there? So your lower back should be flat here. Keep those shoulders up. We're going to let go of the head. Reach the arms, hands together. Fingers are pointing straight through like an arrow. And now as you exhale, could you reach across to one side, the outside of your leg? Inhale back to center. Exhale, we reach to the other side. Inhale, reach center. Exhale, reaching across. Don't sink in those shoulders. Keep lifting, reaching yourself over. Can you keep your pelvis still so there's no rolling? Legs stay still, there's no swaying. Find that reach across. Lift those shoulders with you. Once more each side. Bring it back to center. Start to lower yourself down. Bring the knees in. Let's give them a hug. Maybe rock side to side. Big breaths. And maybe hold the back of the legs. If you think you can, rock your way up into sitting or however you need to get yourself here. Last of all, sitting up nice and high, hands out to the sides, feet and knees wide. And we're going to roll our knees side to side, just to loosen up around the hips. A bit like wipers, can you really roll over, try and drop the knee towards the floor. Try and stay lifted in your chest so we're not sinking and maybe sliding along on the mat. And just one more roll to each side. Bringing those knees back up. You can sit however you feel is comfortable. And just find 3 deep breaths here to finish. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Wide into the ribs. And can you sigh your last breath out? And thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you got what you needed from this session today and it felt good for you. If you've got any questions, do get in touch. Maybe leave a comment, give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this session. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you might be doing. Lots of love from me, and bye for now.